In this video, we're going to go over some basic recording for video. This is the video recording tab. F9 is the hotkey to start and stop the recording. Shift F9 will pause recording, and press Shift F9 again to resume recording. The recording mode, this is for games and applications that use DirectX or OpenGL. If you're recording desktop, use this, it'll record the entire screen. If you want to record a portion of the screen, use this. We'll go over this first. You click this and you have a box that shows up. This is the record button. You can also use the hotkey. You can use this for screen capture. There's also a hotkey for that. This is the size, some presets. You can change those. This horseshoe button locks onto a window. Like if I have a window here, I can click this, and as you move your cursor, it'll try to lock onto the different frames of the application. And you have to kind of set it and then kind of sneak around here and click this again, and it'll stay. This preset thing here is, I wish it had a force ratio, like you could set it to your width or height and you could force it to a 16:9 or a 4:3 ratio, but it doesn't. You pretty much just have to calculate the size on your own based on if you wanted a fixed height or a fixed width. You can also create new ones. You can add one. Just type it in there and hit enter. This removes a preset, and this goes back to the action recorder interface. Active screen just records the screen with the settings below as is. So you just click record or hit the hotkey and record, and that's pretty much it. Game record, you have to have an application active that uses OpenGL or DirectX to be able to use this type of recording. If you notice, the record buttons are grayed out down here because I don't have an active OpenGL or DirectX to record. The file format, you can choose between AVI, MP4, or MP4 with hardware acceleration. It uses the video card, and this setting here has made the most difference. This action software prides itself on having low overhead, not using system resources, freeing those up so that you get a smooth recording. This helps quite a bit, especially if you have some hardware that is lacking in processor power. The video size, you have an array. It's pretty self-explanatory. I've got 2K monitors, so mine's a little bigger than 1080, but you can select between these. You can also adjust the frame rate. I keep it on 30 since I'm posting to YouTube, but you can bump it up all the way up to 120. This duration is for recording for a set length of time. If it's checked, it will record. And in the HUD, you'll have a red line underneath the HUD display indicating the amount of time that's been recording. You can just use the arrow keys to change the time to whatever you need it. The time shift option is kind of like a DVR style. It's not actually recording the video and saving it, but it does kind of record in a lag time. So if you want to record that past video, you can hit the time shift. If we go over here to look at the shortcut keys, we can see that save time shift to file is on Alt F9. So if that is active and you have a good play in a video, a game, hit the Alt F9 and it'll save that to the file location. Record system sound. This is very important. If you do not have this checked, you will not get any sound. Allow multi-channel audio recording. This is like 5.1. If you have a game that has 5.1, you can record. If you have multiple microphones, you know, whatever your input source is, you can record in multi-channel that way. I usually turn this to don't record because I use external software to record any voiceover, any microphone, and I'll go into that in another video, why I do that. But it is an option to record microphone on here, and you can record into another track. If you go to options and click the sound, you have this option here to record microphone into a separate audio track, and I'll go over that in another video also, because it's this is kind of quirky and a lot of people have problems with this. In the settings for the video options, you click on settings and go to the video tab here. You can change the quality, the bit rate, the range. If you don't understand any of this stuff, don't feel bad. Just, you know, what I got here records perfectly fine for me. Use multi-core recording. If you have a processor with multiple cores, which most people do these days, you want this enabled. It helps with the lag. Record mouse cursor. If you uncheck this, it's also going to uncheck visualize mouse clicks, obviously. So click that and it'll show your cursor in your recording. This is just for screen recording, not game recording. And you can also check or uncheck. It even says visualizations are only for desktop recordings and original video size. So you can click or unclick that to show the mouse clicks. Overlay graphics, you can choose a input file. You can choose any kind of JPEG or PNG or something like that to kind of watermark your videos. Again, I don't use this. It's easier to do this in your editing software. If you use that, if you're just going to record and post straight to YouTube, then, you know, feel free to use that. This has caused some problems. I played with this when I first got the software, and I kept forgetting to turn it on or off, and I've had a video ruined because I forgot to turn it off, and it blocked some of my videos. So I usually leave this off. The only thing in the sound settings as far as the video goes is the microphone settings. You can go to system default and use the default microphone, or you can select one that's installed, and you can change the system default in Windows and use that if you would like. The input volume controls how sensitive the mic is, how much it's going to pick up. So I think the default's 90, so this resets to the default setting here. And like I said, this record microphone into a separate track, we'll discuss that later in a video. Basically that separates the audio, the system audio and the mic audio. This is system sounds, so whatever device you use, I just leave it on system default because it plays the system sounds by default. So you can also adjust the balance of system sounds and microphone if you want. This is another reason I choose to record my audio in a different with different software, my voiceover. because I have more control over it. And I just leave the bitrate on default. If you want to record with webcams, you come over to settings, click on the webcam tab, and you can choose when to record. Just like with the microphone, you can always record on hot button down. That it only records when that button has been pressed and held, or you can press and release for on, and then press and release to turn it off. You have options for 2 webcams. I only have 1 webcam, so you can choose to do not record each individual webcam, and it will not record. Of course, if this says do not record, you're not going to record anyway. So this is the main switch for webcam recording, and this is the secondary switch controlling each webcam. You can control the position of the webcam. You can also control the size of the webcam. The default is 16%. You can force a 16:9 into 4:3 ratio. You can click this and it'll show kind of a preview of the webcam, showing in the corner that it's going to be in. You can also preview your webcam in the under the hood as like a little drop down of the preview, so you can see that. And depending on whether the HUD is set to record or not, it may or may not show up in the video. So if you have the webcam set to record in the top right hand corner and you have this show preview and the HUD is recording, then you're going to have 2 webcams, one on top of the other, recording, because they're both going to be in the top right hand corner if the HUD's in the top right hand corner. Of course, you can change the HUD and the webcam position. You have 6 positions here for the HUD. So that's going to do it for this video. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comment section. I'll do my best to answer those. Don't miss the next video. I'm going to go over the sound recording, the benchmarking, and the screenshots. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. God bless.